Greetings. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce you to our cloud-managed video platform today. And since we have a lot to cover, let's go ahead and jump right in. So what is cloud-managed video surveillance? I really like to think of it as a common-sense approach to the cloud. We've developed our platform to utilize the cloud for what it does best, delivering time-saving convenience and flexibility to users. At the same time, our platform leaves the primary video recording on site to deliver the performance and reliability users have come to expect with a modern VMS. Our focus has been utilizing cloud technologies to simplify the operation of management of video systems. Yet, we have continued to take a practical approach when it comes to the realities of our industry, including upload bandwidth limitations and the market's desire for multi-megapixel HD video support. Our focus has been utilizing cloud technologies to simplify the operation and management of video systems. So, with all that said, let me take a minute to review the key components of our architecture. Once again, recording takes place locally on a purpose-built recorder or on any compatible Windows server running our software. There is no limitation on camera counts or resolution supported. A user can walk up to a recording appliance or server to view, search, or export video locally. If a user accesses video with one of our client applications in a LAN environment, while user authentication takes place in the cloud, our system will automatically detect that the user and the recorder exist on the same network and will instruct them to communicate directly. The video never flows through a WAN choke point, which will result in a significantly improved video streaming experience. These are all important key differentiators when comparing our web service with other pure cloud recording solutions. So what actually happens in the cloud? First, the user database exists in the cloud. User profiles, permissions, and recorder information are stored in our web service and automatically roam with users. There is absolutely no programming taking place at a client level. If I add a recorder or change a permission for a user group in the cloud, that change will instantly propagate down to every user and every device in our ecosystem. Another key function of the cloud is to enable video archiving and sharing. We've developed a highly streamlined process by which a user can locate an incident, back it up to the cloud, and make it available to other users with a password-protected URL. Finally, the cloud is also responsible for proactively monitoring the health of recorders. Because our recorders maintain a persistent outbound connection with the web service can alert you or your end user in real time if there are any critical failures or potential issues with the video system. We will touch on this further in a bit, but this is a cornerstone of our platform that many of our channel partners have built successful recurring revenue services upon. So when it comes to remote, video may be accessed using one of our client applications, including our thin client, our desktop client for power users, or our native apps for iOS, tvOS, and Android. Users may receive video alerts on their mobile devices, which will initiate playback of the video event with the single click of a button. Additionally, unlike a traditional VMS, all of our client software utilizes our cloud update service to keep current whenever a new version is released. The last thing I would like to add when it comes to this platform overview is that 100% of our software is proudly developed in the USA. When it comes to assisting with a presentation to an end user on behalf of our channel partner, we always focus on emphasizing how web services can increase the ROI associated with their video system. I typically like to start by demonstrating our simple approach to user interface design and how we have worked to reduce the number of mouse clicks associated with the actions the users perform most frequently. When I have enough time, I also like to demonstrate enrolling a new user in the system. It is a streamlined single-step process in which I enter their name and email address and then add them to a user group. The web service then automatically sends them an email invitation inviting them to join the system and to create their own password. I usually find it worthwhile to demonstrate how the administrative changes we make in the cloud instantly propagate down to all their client experiences. Whether they're using our desktop application, thin client, or one of our mobile apps, the changes we make in the cloud appear on their device within seconds of me hitting apply. Our customers really appreciate how this flexible cloud user management infrastructure saves them time and reduces complexity. Another thing I like to demonstrate is how easy it is to archive video to the cloud and to share it with internal or external users. This is another significant time saver for anyone with a video system and is something I will demonstrate in a few minutes. The last thing to address is how our cloud service helps reduce IT overhead associated with deploying and maintaining a system. This conversation with IT is probably the most important one we have, and fortunately, it's one we look forward to. When it comes to this conversation, we typically start by explaining the benefits of our trusted outbound connection technology. The fact that client-user connectivity does not rely on port forwarding or DDNS reduces the burden on the IT team from an initial deployment and from an ongoing maintenance perspective. I know I mentioned this on the previous slide, but I want to reiterate that there is absolutely no programming that takes place on the client side. When a user authenticates through our web service, their profile, including sites, permissions, and views, are populated automatically. The result is fewer support calls to reestablish connectivity when users migrate between devices. IT is also quick to recognize the benefit in managing software updates through the cloud. They appreciate receiving an automatic notification whenever a new version is released, and they can apply the update with a single click of a button. Our centralized user management also provides a powerful cybersecurity element in reducing the number of orphaned accounts left on devices in large system deployments. Lastly, IT also loves that 90% of users will utilize our thin client and won't need to install any software on their desktop. With that said, the most important part of our conversation with IT is around cybersecurity. When CIOs and network admins learn they don't need to open inbound ports on their network firewall to enable client access over the WAN, we really capture their attention. I also love demonstrating how our multi-factor authentication system protects their user's identity. It basically works the same as Google, Microsoft, or your bank, and instantly sends you a text message with an authentication code to verify your identity. We normally end the conversation with IT by leaving them with a cybersecurity overview that covers our use of data encryption, the TLS protocol, and the other IT best practices we follow to ensure the integrity of their data when protecting their system from unauthorized access. At this point, I want to quickly pivot to the most important benefits our web service platform can deliver to our channel partners. The ultimate goal is to help improve their profitability by reducing labor costs and by providing tools to increase recurring revenue. It is also an innovative solution that will excite end users and help close more business by differentiating the product and service offering. When it comes to reducing labor and support costs, in surveying a large number of channel partners using legacy video platforms, we learned that the most common reason their customers call for service is that they can no longer connect to a system. While there are a lot of potential underlying reasons for this, our web service technology is designed to eliminate the most common ones. For example, end users often make changes to their network environment. Whether they have changed ISPs or installed some new networking hardware, when a customer is unable to connect to their video system, your phone is going to ring. Our trusted outbound connection technology can eliminate virtually all of these calls. Regardless of changes that take place on site, our software will continue searching for a new way to reestablish outbound communication with the cloud. Another typical support call occurs when a user migrates between PCs or mobile devices. With a traditional video system, the user must re-input the IP address, port information, their username, and their password for every device they wish to connect to. Based on our experience, many of our customers don't have this information readily available, and this often results in another support call. I just want to re-emphasize that with our platform, there is no client-side programming. The user simply enters their email address and password, and all the programming you have done in the cloud is automatically applied. There is even a Forgot My Password tool below our login screen so your end user can reset their own passwords without a support call. Also of great importance is how our platform can reduce on-site service calls. Our trusted outbound connection technology provides you with 100% low-level access to the system without establishing a VPN connection with our client. This will enable you to remotely diagnose issues, access an individual camera's web service, or even power cycle a port on one of our PoE appliances. The key takeaway is that deploying our technology will result in receiving fewer tech support calls. And when your customer does call, our technology will enable you to diagnose and fix more issues remotely without VPN access and without rolling a truck. The next thing I want to quickly touch on is how our channel partners are leveraging our web services to deliver proactive service while developing recurring revenue from their video business. From a best practices standpoint, the majority of our channel partners sell at least a basic service agreement with every system they deploy. This is typically represented by the standard column and the far left side of this matrix. In this case, the end user would be charged a recurring fee for access to the service and its self-serve health monitoring capabilities. You would typically configure the web service to send a customer an updated report each month that summarizes their system's health status, including a snapshot of their current camera images for comparison against a reference image from the time of installation. As we move to a more premium service offering to the right, our channel partners are combining the power of the web service with additional labor input to deliver a host of proactive services such as periodic camera verification, the application of security updates, and the proactive response to any issues identified by the cloud health monitoring service. As we move to a more premium service offering to the right, our channel partners are combining the power of the web service with additional labor input to deliver a host of proactive services such as periodic camera verification, the application of security updates, and the proactive response to any issues identified by the Cloud Health Monitoring Service. The key point is that the web services platform includes numerous tools to help deliver a proactive level of service while improving the close rate and reducing the attrition rate on video service agreements or managed service programs. The final thing I want to touch on before moving on to the software demonstration is how dramatically we have improved the video integration model. In the past, to integrate video with a third-party application, you would need to enter the IP address and port information for each video recorder you wanted to access. Then, when video was requested by the application, the success of the connection was dependent on the network being configured properly. This meant that video integrations could be expensive to maintain over time as changes take place within the network environment. The web services integration model changes this completely. Even though recorders continue to exist on site, instead of making requests against all the individual recorders, requests for video are made against a centralized point in the cloud, which masks all the back-end networking complexity from users and customers. The result is that video integrations are easier to deploy, are more reliable, and are less expensive to maintain, especially as recorder counts increase. We have already announced integrations with a number of leading third-party hardware and software providers, and will be expanding this list over the years to come. If you have any interest in one of these existing integrations, I would encourage you to reach out to us for additional details. At this point, I would like to transition to the software demonstration and show some of the features of the product.